Okay. Today we're gonna fix this thing. This is my Prusa SL1S. I bought it secondhand, and it has a pretty big flaw on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see me up there, but the screen, it's got a big scratch through the middle of it. It still works. It's not cracked. I guess the school that owned it originally, when they moved the tank off of it, they left the screws in it and it went, and it etched a pretty big gash into the screen of this unit here. It still works, but when you're curing resin across the crack there, it leaves a large visible mark on the print, and it makes it weaker in that area, so it doesn't cure correctly. So I've already started some of the steps on this to try to get things moving, but the idea that we're going to be getting through here is we got to replace the screen. We got a replacement from Prusa. We need to replace the tilt sensor, which is down in here, and we also have to replace the VAT sensor, which is this right here. So this can detect, I think, how much fluid that you put inside of the tank to make it work. For those of you guys wondering like what this is actually a resin 3D printer. So it uses a liquid photocurable resin to create prints, and it's actually kind of cool. Like, I'll go grab an example before we get started here. So some examples of some things that I printed with this before I decided to pull it out of service is this Game Boy camera shell. It works pretty well. Once I get this fixed, I'm gonna definitely print me a whole new Game Boy camera shell for my special mod that I have for the Game Boy camera. Other things, it's able to print like really small, fine details. It makes it really cool. But we got to get it fixed up. Another thing we have, I forgot, is a new air filter, because I don't know how long this one has been in place. It's got little charcoal pellets in it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we are in the workshop. We are following the steps here. We're getting close to the installation part for this. I've been following the guide up until this point. Let's see, we need to move the screen. I think I want a couple screens up here and follow that. Alright, so we need to remove this screw back here and loosen this screw here. That allows us to then swing out the front screen here. So I'm going to drop this here so I don't break it. We're going to readjust and find which one of these fits. I think it's this one. This is not the right size. That doesn't look like the right one. I thought I had that one over here. Right before I started, I was moving things around, trying to give myself some more space. It's hard to see it in this position, so we're going to move it once more. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Alright. We needed to turn it. Just left this way towards me. So we got to turn it this way. I always get that backwards. When you're turning the things left or right. If it's upside down like this screw happens to be, then yeah, it's a problem. It's a difficult spot to reach already. Come on. Get in here. We had it loosened. There. It's not wanting to line up with the hole. Start. There we go. Okay, it's loosening up. Can't quite get it with my fingers yet. Readjust it in so that I could see it a little bit better. It's just in a weird spot. There it is. Like, I bet if I laid this down and then tried this, it would probably be a little bit easier. Let's move my soldering shield out of the way and see if we can make this a little bit easier to work on by tilting it back a little bit. The air filter thing on the back there. All right, we are leaning up against the shelf. Oh yeah, that's so much easier. Should have did that first. Okay. This is a screw that's like in a 3D printed part, so that's why it's giving me so much resistance here. A lot of the parts on this machine itself are actually 3D printed. You'd think that that would be like an inferior quality product. And in some cases it might be seen that way, but this also makes it so that you can repair it by using 3D printing. So if you need something, instead of having to pay the company or harass them to try to get a part for it, they release the model online, which makes it easy to get replacement parts. This thing's a lot farther in there than I thought it was going to be. This isn't the right screw size for that. Alright, it is free. It's still stuck in the 3D printed part, but that's okay. Now we have to loosen this side up, which I was pulling that towards me, so this means I should push this one away. Okay. Alright, so this one doesn't need to be taken all the way off. It just needs to be loosened according to the instructions. Now this should swing out, but in order to do that, I have to lower it down first. We're gonna turn it a little bit. We have to open the hatch on the top. Ow. Some stuff on my shelf got hit. Alright, let's see. Ooh. That ribbon cable's kind of tight on there. Okay, so we followed that step, which is step 7. Now you can rotate the screen to easily loosen the left screw a little more and disconnect the optical sensor cable. Release the 2 M35 screws which hold on the sensor and then replace the sensor. Okay. I see our target. It's down there. This looks like it might be this one. I think this is the right one. Let's see. Is this the right one? Yeah, that's it. Ooh, that is on there tight. Definitely in a weird spot. There we go. It's kind of hard to film this and do it. So sorry that the angles aren't that good. I might be able to adjust this one. It might make some funner videos, I guess. Turn it around here. Yeah. Kind of point it down into it. Okay. So we have this small sensor down in here, this red thing that we're trying to get out right now so that we can replace it. I don't know if it needs to be replaced fully, but it will solve other issues with this machine because the VAT sensor wasn't functioning correctly. I need to adjust this so that I can see it, fortunately. Maybe I can move this a little closer so that you guys can join me in the fun. Alright, continuing forward. I try to get this at least partially apart before we started recording because I didn't know how long this is going to take. or if this will really generate any good audio that we would want to even hear. Okay, we have it loosened. Here. We have it twisting. There we go. Definitely feel that one come out. Alright, that's so much easier to turn now. That was definitely loose enough. Get this one loose now. M3/5 screws of the obstacle sensor gate. Ooh. Okay, it's fallen free. And we have liftoff. Okay, doing a little bit of analysis of this. This sensor typically doesn't need to be changed unless it was dripped on, which it might have been with the resin material. I'm trying to unbuckle this here. I don't think it's locked to the print. It's a little difficult to remove. I can't tell if it's actually locked to the print or not. It might actually be. There's no release lever on it. It's just kind of sitting there. Oh, okay, there it goes. Looking at it real close here. It looks like it was someone tried to clean it off, but they didn't. So when this is not able to be detected correctly, the vat over tilts, and it actually causes it to like make a noise like tap, tap, tap. Which we don't want that to happen. Alright, so this little bugger is about to be switched. This part's actually pretty cheap. This was like $3, I think. Something along that line. Alright, we got a brand new one right here. Fresh in the packaging. And they didn't put an easy tear on it. My scissors are at the other desk. So we have to improvise. Grab this pin here and kind of poke a hole in the corner. Gives us a little corner rip to then get it. Using tools not the way that they're intended to be used. Okay. Comparing the old one to the new one. The new one is a lot more red. It's a little bit brighter red compared to the other one. The printed bracket is still kind of weird quality. Definitely not the best for a 3D printed part. If you were to 3D print this yourself, you might be able to do it better, but I think because they do such high volume printing, and this is not really, it doesn't need to look nice, it just needs to perform. So it's strong enough to actually do the function that it needs to do. But it just doesn't look as fancy as maybe a good quality part would be. Trying to line up the holes here with the bracket. They're not lining up right. We have this on correctly. This is the exact same way that the other one was on there. Oh, you know what's wrong? The connector has like an extra tooth that hangs down there. There is a piece in the part that has like a little cutout for it, but I have to actually bend these little prongs up in order to get this in there. And that's not cool. It's not going in. Alright, let me just check the instructions here. For this step, maybe I'm not doing it right. I want to make sure. Oops, I skipped this step. Ooh, go back. Alright, got it. Connect the cable to the sensor. Ensure you aren't using the side with the yellow marker while inserting the connector on the pins. The sensor connector has to be slightly inclined. See the picture. So yeah, we have to actually bend the prongs up a little bit to get it to go on there. Oh, this is annoying. wonder, do I bend the prongs up without the prong on there? It doesn't say to do this, but the prongs are too close to the print. I'll try to slightly bend them up a little bit with the screwdriver here. Just kind of wedging it in there and kind of picking up a little bit, just to get them a little bit away from the surface. That might give us an easier time getting this on there. It's definitely wanting to go, but it's not going yet. I don't want to break it if possible. Ooh, 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 ooh. Got it. Alright, it is on there. The tooth is not going into the little slot that's down there all the way. I don't know if I can get it in there or not. I think it's good like this. It should stay on there. Okay, the sensor is fixed. Now we have to get it back in there. This can be a little bit difficult. I think this will be the hardest sensor to get. The tank sensor seems like it would be a lot easier to get just because of its location. This one was just in a strange spot on the front. I decided to do this right now because this is kind of in line with the steps to replace the screen. Like, you should still have to do all of this current steps that we're on, like removing the screen in the front here and rotating it out so that we can see the... Ah, dang it! It's magnetic. And it's kind of retracting to this stuff. If we can get one side in there. Okay, we got the screw started. It definitely feels like it's going down there. Alright, now that other screw should be lined up. Maybe it's lined up. There we go. Cinch it down kind of tight because we don't want this moving. I don't know if there's any adjustment we need to make for it. I don't see that in the instructions anywhere. It has to be within the brackets, ideally in the middle. Hold the sensor and tighten the screws. Double check the entire tilt mechanism. Okay, we have to do that step next, which we have to push down on the... Ooh, ooh, ooh. It is not lined up, like, at all. That's not good. That could be a reason why it's not working right. It needs to go out more. How do we adjust that? Alright, I gotta loosen it up again. Part of the issues with having a 3D printed part is it's a lot of tolerance miss. Okay, that puts it right in the middle there. I'll just leave it right there. How about we just tighten it around that? Now it's in the middle for sure. Okay. Smooth. It doesn't quite go all the way over though. Can it move more that way? I wonder if this is all I needed to do with the old one. I didn't know that this was adjustable. I thought it was just at a fixed position. Okay, we grab it loose again. Try to line it up over there. Make sure we're still in the middle. Yeah. Okay, right there. From what they said when I bought it, they said that this was from the factory like this. It's been in a school, which, you know, kids probably abuse the heck out of things. So that's not good there. Okay. We spent 20 minutes to replace the sensor. I don't know. We might have to cut this video up into more stuff. I didn't know that this was going to be so involved. Alright, so we finished that step. We have successfully changed the sensor, and we have aligned the sensor, which probably will help. I don't know if the old sensor was aligned or not. I didn't check that. I didn't know that that was a thing that it can happen. Alright. Let me find the other tab for the screen one. Screen one, screen one, screen. Had a whole bunch of other tabs open. Where is the tab? Did I close it out? I don't see it. I can't find my tab. That's not good. I might have accidentally closed out the tab. We're gonna have to find it again. Alright, let's see how to replace the optical sensor. How to replace the print display. That's the SL1. I need the SL1S. USB connector. Alright, I think we are in this step here. We have to remove the print display cable. So we got everything up until this point. Try to get us back to where we were. Move the stuff here. We now need to rotate to the other side. There we go. Alright, so we have to get this print display cable out of here. For us to do that, I might need the screwdriver and adjust my position so that I can actually see what I'm doing here. I think this has a lever that you have to pull towards us. There it is. Then we can just pick it up. And it's free. Alright. Simple enough. We got that. Gently pull the closest silver rectangle. Disconnect the connector. We did that. It is off. Using an Allen key, remove all 10 screws holding the display assembly and proceed carefully as you might script the screw. Keep all removed screws for later. Oh, this is for the SL1. I have the SL1S, which only has 4 screws. I thought I chose the right one. Bear with me. We have to make sure we got the right one here. Difficulty moderate. Alright, we have our screen, which is right here. We need to get to the step where we got to that. Disconnecting the print display. We just did that here. Ours did not have a bracket because it's a newer one. There we go. Remove the 4 screws. 2.5 millimeter Allen key. 2.5 millimeter. That's one of these. I don't know which one is that. Is that the smaller one? Oh, that. It's just a bit. No, that's a star bit. It might be this one. No, it's bigger than that one. First, let me get the screen to come back up. This. There it is. Alright. Using the index finger from below the left side, push the display assembly up. Alright, so we gotta take these off and then we push the display assembly up. Being careful not to script the screws. I guess I should probably adjust the thing so you guys can watch what's going on. There. So we're working up here on the deck. And you can see my scratched screen. We got this screw loose. I got these little sauce cups here to hold screws. That's how I keep track of everything. It's nice because you just kind of throw it in there and then you move on to the next one. Some people use magnets, but not all screws are magnetic. I find these little sauce cups that you get from the restaurant store are pretty good at what we need. Okay. Get this off. Number 3 and the last one. These screws are a lot easier than the ones that was holding that sensor on. Just because they're a lot more available. Alright, screws is removed. Now, use index finger, press screen up. Where is that? Screen is up. Okay. Old display is removed. So some things that I'm seeing here with this, I don't know if you guys can see it. But this screen's got some weirdness going on in the middle. It looks like that somebody maybe spilled a whole bunch of resin on the other side of it. On this back side here. We were changing it out here because it's got a big scratch in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it's pretty big. I cannot see through the screen, even up against the direct light. So I'm not sure exactly how the screen works. It's encased in this heavy aluminum frame, so it's definitely in there. Alright, so we got our screen off. We're going to put that off to the side for now. And we're going to move on to our next step, which is to get your screen prepared. Keep the orange protective sticker on the side of the print display until it is completely installed. While I have this open, let's look at this stuff that we got in here. There's quite a lot going on. There's the UV system that's sitting behind the lens unit. The lens unit looks pretty clean. I don't think I'll be touching it. Something I wanted to adjust is the screws that are on the back there while I have this open, because during troubleshooting the machine, when I first started, it said that I needed to adjust these screws back here. And of course the supplied Allen wrench is not long enough to fit and reach that. So let me grab a longer Allen wrench from the other desk that we have here. I believe they're metric, but I have to just double check. Yeah, these are metric. The red one's the metric. This is kind of a side quest to the main quest that we have going on here. We need, I think that one, is that a 3? It's hard to tell. It's not a 2.5, is it? This is a 2.5. I don't think it is. No, it's definitely a 3. Okay, let's grab the 3 off of here. And we shall try to side quest tighten the screw that we need to tighten. I don't know, that's not a very good angle. Just put it back here. Oh, that seems pretty, no, that can't be 3. Is this 3mm? This don't look like no 3mm. This looks like 6mm. Did I not put this back on there right? This claims that it's 3mm. That's what it is. Okay. So just to make sure, we're gonna give these little parts here a good tightening. They are already pretty dang tight. because there was a problem when I was calibrating it, that the alignment was off. Alright, that is as tight as I can get it. I don't think it moved at all. Side quest complete. Another side quest that we have to do while we have the screen off is replace the tank sensor. Tank sensor is going to be this white sensor here. That is sitting right here in the front. This little thin wire here. It looks like it has a star screw, and it looks like this doesn't have a screw on it. Here. I can't tell if it's a hex bolt or a flathead bolt. It could be possibly both. It's smaller than that. This might be difficult to remove because it has like an ooh, there we go. A mechanism on it that keeps it from like loosening. Okay, it's definitely coming more loose. Let me move these little screws out of here before they fall on the floor and become coins. It keeps biting. The little star piece keeps biting on the metal, keeping it from twisting. We just need to get more loose. There. Oh, I thought we had it. Okay. Loosen all the way. It is on the second hole screw there. Come on. It was coming. I want to make sure I don't lose the screw in the machine, because that could be bad. Good luck in the back. It's like one or two more turns done. Come on. Yay! Okay. Oh, gotta remember the direction that was on, so I make sure I put it on the right way next time. Okay, we got it out. Now we have to unhook it from the board itself. So we need our trusty Allen wrench key to push on the tooth here, and then we give it a pull. So close. Come on, here we go. Alright, old sensors removed. We might not even need to replace either of these sensors, like they might have functioned, but I figure since we're in here, take out any possibility of having problems by just replacing it. They were relatively cheap anyway. And this one was a couple bucks. This one seems like it's shorter than the old one. Yeah, it's slightly shorter, but it is a thicker gauge wire too. Like this is thicker now. Alright, let's remember the order that this all goes in. The star faces like that. That faces like that. It feels like this is twisted in some way, but it's not. Line that up with the hole. Try to get a view from the top. Oh, almost lost the screw. It almost fell. It fell off again. Problem is, this Allen wrench is a little long for this purpose. There we go. Alright, I can kind of hand tighten it until we get to a certain point. And then we have to line it up with where it was. And then really tighten it down so that it bites. And a little bit tighter. There. Alright, it's in line with the bracket. It is not covering any holes, and it is on there pretty tight. We have successfully replaced the tank vat sensor. I don't know how it works, because it's just a metal, like, capacitive thing that kind of just is hooked to the board for some reason. I don't know, but supposedly that can figure out if there is resin in the tank or not. Okay, back to the main quest. We have the new screen, which I have to be very careful with. We already have a little bit of dust on the screen, but that should be okay. Okay, this needs to go here. This ribbon needs to be routed underneath. I have this hold up now, drop it down a little bit slowly. I want to make sure I'm not touching the new screen with my bare fingers. We're going to touch the frame instead and ease it into place. Smooth. Carefully insert the display. Cables on the left side facing towards the board, which we do have. We have to have done that a little bit. Carefully align the display with the tilt frame underneath. Use an M4 countersink screws to fit them back into place. We're making some pretty good progress. Took 20 minutes to take the sensor off, and it took like 10 minutes to get that other sensor moved. Alright, so now you guys can see kind of what we're doing here. We're putting the screws back into place here. Let me counter spin it so that way it doesn't cross thread. It seems like it's going in there a little tight. I hope let me try it again. Alright, so we do a left turn until it like does that hop. That should, in theory, line it up. There we go. We're not going to tighten it all the way yet. Let's get the other ones into position. We're going to go diagonally across. It doesn't say what order to do the screws in. So weird. Oh wow, that one goes on super easy. Now why was this one going so much resistance then? Let me back it out. Let's try a different hole. Okay, this one's going in real easy. It's good when it goes in easy like that, because that way you know it's correctly lined up. This one's going in. I wonder, that sensor's not in the way, is it? No, there's no way it would be. Last hole. All three other screws went in super easy, and this one was the one black sheep that wasn't going in it. Oh, okay. There it goes. Now it's going in easy. Well, make sure it's not colliding with the sensor. It's not. Should be good to wrench this all the way in. We're going to diagonally cross and tighten these up pretty good. Okay, that was on there. Said it was moderate difficulty, but this doesn't seem that hard. It seemed like changing out that other stupid sensor was harder than this, but that was just because of the positioning of it and all the other stuff around it. Alright, this one's tightening up a lot more than the other ones. I want to make sure I don't tighten it too much because I don't want to crack our brand new screen. Last thing I want to do is tighten it in. Okay. Alright, they're all hand tightened. It says gradually in a cross pattern using reasonable force. Whatever that is. Alright, so now we have to relatch the connector into the thing and push down on the latch. Let me position this down here so you guys can see what's going on. We have this golden connector here. I need to position this to get into the slot. So push the latch down. I need two hands on this. It's hard because of the angle it has to go into the slot. Okay, that side's in the slot. That side's in the slot. I think we got it. Oh no, it's definitely not seated correctly. It's not lined up. There. Now it's on there. It's tight. It's on there. There's enough slack to move around. Close safety latch using your finger. Verify the white line on the display cable is slightly above the safety latch. It is. And parallel to the connector body. It is parallel, yes. We have successfully seated the screen back into the unit. It says the correct way to route this extra slack is to pull it towards us this way so that it rolls down like that. Don't leave it hanging under the screen as it could get caught by stuff or block exposure to the lens. Alright, while we have this open here, let me just double check that this lines up. It is lining up right. This looks good. It looks like we're in good condition here. Make sure the bow of the cable is on the side with the board and not under the unit because it blocks the exposure. Something that we have to do that wasn't part of the instructions. Why is it telling me to do this? Oh, okay, I know why. This part where we move the screen here wasn't part of the screen assembly instructions, which they assume that the screen is in position currently and not where it's at right now. Let's see, can we get the screen protector on? Screen protector is pretty messed up, so we're going to take this screen protector off. Much better. That's pretty bad. It's all. I thought that the screen was actually broken. It does look like it might be cracked in the corner, but I don't think that's going to impact its usage. Hopefully that still works because this front screen is kind of expensive, I think, to replace. Oh, this isn't the right one. It's this other weird one. This is an M4 screw, not M3 like the others are. Again, this is the hard part where it's not lining up right. Come on, get on there. We're so close now. I can go back to 3D printing finally. Definitely probably want to get some better Allen wrench keys and not use the ones that came with the kit, because the ones that came with the kit kind of suck. Alright. Like, this would be a lot better if I had like a handle bit driver kind of thing with a bit on the end of it, which I do have that. I just didn't get it out for this because figured why not use the tools that were provided by the machine itself to do the repairs to the machine. I guess I didn't really have their... let me close this here. We should be able to close it now, right? Okay, we still need to tighten this up a little more. It's still loose. There we go, nice and tight. I'll have to tighten the other edge now. Because we tighten this one. Or we loosen this one, I mean. Am I loosening it or am I tightening it? Oh dang, I think I went the wrong direction. Yeah, I was going the wrong direction. There. screen is adhered correctly. It is now solidly on there. The final steps to get this thing up and running again is get the front cover on by plugging this little pigtail into the front cover and positioning it. This also goes with our front cover screws. And I forgot where these ones go. This is the front cover screw. Oh, this is the fan thing on the back. Okay, this is part of the air filter that we got to replace here. That's coming up on a later step. So another little side quest we have. So move these off to the side. We're gonna need to scoot the unit back a lot. It's really heavy. Okay, we have positioning. We have front panel in position. We now have to get this front panel pigtail thing plugged into this so that my USB port and power button will work. So we're working on this here. Hard to get you guys in close. And do this at the same time. Okay, it's on there, but I didn't hear a click. I want to try to push it in there a little more. Okay, that side went a little bit. That side went in a lot. Okay, not shear this off. Okay, we got a click. Let's double check the other side. Okay, it is fully seated in there. Smells weird. Oh, okay. That's this little thing. It smells like resin, so it's probably time to replace that. It's a good thing I bought an extra. Okay, we got the front panel pigtail hooked in. Our instructions now tell us to push this back into place, making sure that none of the wires get caught. We got our sensor. Ooh, the front panel is getting caught. Just what it told us not to do. Okay, I need to grab this and push this in there. Come on, go back around the thing. There. Okay. We have that. Now we need our really tiny key. Is this the star-shaped one? No, wait. I think this might be the star-shaped one. Let me just double check what we got here. It is star-shaped, but it's not this star-shape. I think it's this other star Allen wrench key here. Yeah, there it is. So this is our little bit here. We need to try to get these into position to line them up. If I can get the back one in here. It should hold the metal panel up now. So I'm gonna have to hold it. And if we could do the other side while we're... I don't know if I could see this stuff here that we're doing. Some guerrilla video work happens when you're kind of a one-man show. You don't have a lot of other people to help you out with it. I didn't really plan on this video being the video for the week. This is kind of something that I needed to do, and decided maybe to bring you guys along to see some of the sights and sounds, the crazy things that I do in my life. Fixing a very expensive SLA printer. I did buy it secondhand, but if you're to buy these things new, this is like a $2,000 unit. It's kind of outclassed for machines that are available nowadays, but back when it came out, it was actually kind of cool. I've always kind of wanted one, but I needed to wait for a good price. I got a pretty good price on this one. And it came with the wash and cure station and a whole bunch of bottles of resin. So that gets me on my way to 3D printing some cool stuff. The only problem that it had, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people were avoiding it, was the screen was broken. The screen cost just around $125 to fix. So it's not cheap by any stretch of the... It's definitely not cheap. But it's much cheaper to buy a used broken one and then a screen than it is to buy the brand new one. You can definitely feel the quality of the build quality on this thing. There are almost no Chinesium parts. This is definitely Czech engineering. This comes from the Czech Republic. That's where Prusa is stationed. Prusa, I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I like to call it Prusa, not Prusa. But that's just me. I'm an American. What can I say? Let's double check all these other screws while I have the wrench out. Okay, the front panel is on. It looks great. We have to now do the last section, which is fixing the air intake with a brand new filter. So I got the filter. This one that they gave me here, its pack is really weird. It just like has saran wrap on it, like it's leftovers. Let's see. They must have made a lot of these because I have an SL1S, or yeah, an SL1S, and this filter still says Prusa SL1 on it. So this is not the S version, but the old filter that it had in there, it also said SL1 and not SL1S. So I guess they just haven't changed their branding to the new stuff yet. Let's see, we need to pick this up. There we go. Alright, so we got our filter housing. Airflow. I forgot how this comes out. I think it blows in, but I don't know if it blows in or if it blows out. Let's consult the guide. Let's see how to replace the blower fan. We are already pretty far into it. We need to install the filter. New blower fan preparation. Here we go. Oh. This is not the blower fan. This is the filter fan. I chose the wrong one. That option is not here. I just want to make sure that I get this right. So it says insert that way. Insert down like this. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. So we're taking air out. It goes through the filter here to filter and clean it. And then it goes out. Yeah, that's the right way. Okay. We have the right process here. We now have to get the little metal frame here to hold this in there. It notches right here, and then it presses down pretty tightly. Am I doing this right? Just make sure I'm not crushing anything in there. There is a foam gasket, so that's why that's there. I don't believe that there's any problem with it rotating in different directions. Does it fit better this way than the other way? Okay. Try it again. This is not put in any other direction. It just fits like that. Where's my screws? The black screws are for the back screws. The white silvery screws are for this unit. So we push this down. If we can get this to bite on there, there we go. Then we can use the leverage to push it down. So kind of just alternate going back and forth, squeezing it down nice and tight, making sure the filter is all the way lodged in there with the gasket seal. I didn't look up the instructions for this part here. I just kind of, it's a filter. How hard is it to change it out? Although I was wanting to look at the guide because I forgot what direction to put the filter in. It looks like the holes all line up. It is back in the unit. You now have to fish these cables up into the unit. And it's almost like we have a brand new SL1S. Alright, push that up there. It is locked in place. The final step. This uses the star bit. Yes, it uses the star bit. I guess I should have probably pointed that out before pushing this in there. So what this is designed to do is to reduce the smells of the resin from getting out of the unit, if I haven't explained what this part is for. It makes your house smell like chemicals. So you need proper filtration. Otherwise you'll be breathing chemicals. And depending on what resins you use, some of them are actually toxic and hazardous to your health. I'd imagine all of them would be, but it's probably not good to be getting high off of it. But there it is. Alright. We have our unit all put back together. The final step, which is, I think we pull the yellow thing off of there. Without touching it with your fingers, remove the yellow or orange protector off of the screen. Please remove the screen protector film before using the printer because it won't work if you do it without it. Right, so grab it and pull this direction away from the screen. You got it. And then you need to plug it in and turn it on and do a calibration and check all the stuff. While it is doing this process, do not open the lid under any circumstances. Well, what if it's on fire? Oh no! It told me not to open it under any circumstances. I guess we're gonna burn. Ah, it's stuck. Okay, this is a... Oh, I thought this is like a... it's like a whole sticker. Like it's actually stuck to them. I would have thought that the tab here would have been at least free from the thing so you can just pick it up because it looks like it's what's supposed to do, but it's actually a full sticker and it's attached to the metal frame. My fingernails are really short right now. I have a bad habit of chewing them. I did not get that right. Do I have a tool that can handle this? I think we need a razor blade. Let me see if I have one handy without cutting myself. Here is a used razor blade from my resin printing escapades, as this helps you remove stuff from the build plate. I want to make sure I just get the peel up edge, and then we're going to take this away and make sure that it never gets near the screen again. I just need to peel up the edge of the tab so I can pick it up. I definitely don't want to cause a scratch like it was on the old one again. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Success. Okay. It's a fresh, brand new virgin screen. We are going to close the lid now. Oh, I hit the lid. And we're good. We have completed the build. The rebuild of it. I don't know if I want to save this sticker for some reason. I guess we could stick it on the old one, the cracked one. Let me grab this and see if I can put this onto the cracked one. It fit like this. Line that up. Line that up. And there we go. The old one now has the screen on it. Yeah, this probably definitely needed to be replaced. It was in much worse condition than I originally thought it was. Let's move this razor blade out of the way here. We'll probably dispose of that later. And it's complete. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It's gone for a whole hour. I still have to edit and put this together. It's currently 2 a.m. in the morning. Crazy stuff that I get into after work. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's not the most exciting content, but hey, it's binaural recordings, sights and sounds. You guys get to see some cool stuff and see me do things. See me live my normal life by myself. Leave likes, comments, subscribe, and see you guys next week. Don't know what we're going to be doing yet, but we're going to be finding some stuff to do. Maybe I'll print my new 3D printed camera case for a Game Boy camera, and we'll go do some shooting out there for something. Take it to the mall or something. Figure out what we're doing with it. But, yeah, have a good one, and see you next week.